Well, here I am getting ready to work on the cross member. And my plan right at this moment is to come right through here and right through here on both sides, and then cut all the rest of this out. This isn't welded to anything here, and there's no support over here, so I don't even see how I could leave that for some extra support, because that looks to me like that's going to be where the tightest point is going to be right here. So I think I'm just going to come up here, cut that, come up here, cut that, and on the back side, that flange continues all the way across. It would be nice to leave that just for a little extra support. It looks to me like it might be welded in a couple places. If it is, it sure ain't a lot. But ow. That might be a weld right there. It feels like a weld. But I can stick my finger all the way under there. So what's the point? What's the point of trying to save that? It might be welded on there, right there. But it's not welded there. It's welded there. It might be welded right there at the top. So if I could leave this, that would kind of help tie the two sides together. And then with what I got planned for the top side, I think it would work pretty good. But might as well get grinding, quit putting it off. This is a view of how I'm having to put that transmission in and how much room I have. It's not a whole lot. You know, I could keep jacking that thing up, but I'm able to move good enough like that so far. We shall see. But I'm going to keep going. Just wanted to make a few comments about what I've done to that transmission in preparation for this. Was cut out those side webbings on the driver's side like I was found on the internet, and I just wanted to say to anybody putting it in a dart that don't waste your time. Near as I can tell, it doesn't do anything. Apparently the other B's and E's have more leg room up front and have a longer front footwell, because where you cut that webbing out, where I found on the internet, falls right behind that cross member. You know, so in some other cars, I guess it falls right on that cross member, but not on a dart. Just FYI. Well, I don't know if you can see that smoke coming off that grinder, but I sure can smell it. Woo. It froze up right there at the very end. Got along just fine, all of a sudden started smoking and stopped. But I got that thing cut out, and I managed to leave that front hoop, and it is welded at the top. You can see where the back hoop was welded at the top. Two little spot welds. I mean, I don't know if that'll do any good or not. It may wind up coming out of there anyway, but probably wasn't worth all that work. But it's out. Now, all I gotta do is see if the thing will even pretend to go in there. Here it is, all cleaned up as best I can. Getting ready to trial fit it, see if it'll even go in there. I mean, by my eyeball, looks like it should just clear. It's got more room over here than over there. And unfortunately, I bet I'm probably going to have to just cut this off right here. But it'd be nice not to. So I can still have that hole there too to bolt into with the trans mount. Having two on each side to start would be nice. Probably going to have to eventually add another one back here because the new cross member is going to have to go farther to closer to the torsion bars. I don't know about this side. This side's probably okay because it's shorter anyway. But without a hole there, that gone, definitely gonna have to do some more drilling and sleeving. But I'm hoping that will fit with that hole there. Well, still think I got plenty of room, but I can't crawl into there. I don't have the front wheel on. If it fell on me there, I'd be dead. So, what am I going to do here? Guess I should go put that front wheel on temporarily. Well, I think that is going to fit just fine. Near as I can tell, it's got plenty of room on the other side and up above. Can't really see. Try to get light up there. Yeah, it's not even touching the tunnel. I mean, and I think it's just about up to the engine in the front. So I think that's going to work. Thing is, I wanted to clean that up a little bit and hit it with some Rust-Oleum. Of some kind. Rust reform or something. There's some surface rust inside that channel. I'd like to shoot in there. But you know, I could always do that. I could always do that later. So I'd hate to have to move that thing again. If I can just get a couple bolts, or actually nuts on it, because that adapter plate has studs sticking out of it that go through the transmission with nuts that go on there because of that adapter plate. If I could just get those started, man, I think I'd just keep going because that's going to fit. And it ain't going to be that hard to modify or make my own transmission support either. I mean, that's going to be a piece of cake compared to everything else I've done. So, and then reinforcing that tunnel from above, I'd probably just put like some 3/16 flat stock, about 2 inches wide, 2 or 3 inches wide, bend it around the tunnel, running out on either side about a foot, and run a bolt down into these, from up above into that. Tack welded around the tunnel, and man, that'd be stronger than it was originally, I think. So it's gonna work. Now, if the transmission's any good, I have no clue. All right. Well, I've determined that it's going to be almost impossible to get that thing bolted up like that. So tomorrow I'm going to take it, motor mount's loose again, jack the motor up a little bit. I got to clearance those holes in the motor mount in the K-frame just a little bit. I need to move this one back a little bit and that one on the passenger side forward just a little bit, give it a little more clearance. I'm going to clearance it at the top a little bit so it'll drop in easier, because it looks to me like it's just not sitting quite square. Looks like this side is cocked this way a little bit. Needs to get back that way a little bit. With this motor pulled out a little bit and forward, I'm hoping I can jack that transmission up enough to where I can get at the studs on there to get it bolted up with some room in there. I know it's going to be hard clearing that K-frame and that stupid pan I got on there, but I want to try it. I don't know what else to do at this point by myself. It's going to be almost impossible to get these holes lined up when I'm underneath the car and can't see them. Somebody from up top could help me line them up maybe, but even then I'd probably have to drill a hole through the floor to put the nuts on. So I'm just going to try that tomorrow. Let's see if I can't get it on that way. Well, I'm down to my last exhaust manifold stud to get out, and I think I'm going to pull that plug out down there and give me more leverage there. But oh my God, what a job that has been. It's just been a nightmare. They fought me every millimeter of the way pulling those things out. But down to the last one, hoping and praying it doesn't break. Well, there it is, coming out finally. Jesus, this was the worst one of them all. I mean, I had just about given up. I said I'd try one more time. And I did, and it broke loose without breaking. It's amazing how strong those things are. By all rights, it should have snapped off, but it didn't. And then I had to use heat on this and blaster, and I mean, I've been using blaster for like a week, soaking these things, and I thought the other ones were bad until I got to this one. Oh man, what a mess. Just want to show you this thing when I get it out. How chewed up it is. Oh my God. There's practically nothing left of it. Look at that. I had to use that. And I even resorted to this, which actually I was able to grab it with that, but that's when I thought for sure it was going to break. But I got too scared of that, so I put it down and went back to the vice grips with using a wrench for extra leverage. On the end, like that. That's the only way I got it to pop loose.
And once it's loose, you'd think it'd just come right on out, but your battle's just beginning. Once you get it loose, it's like it almost gets tighter the more you back it out. It's wild. But working it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, a fraction of a turn at a time, it finally came out. And that's pretty much how they all were. None of them just unscrewed once you got them loose. It was just they fought you every inch of the way. Except for this side that had two that fell out with the nuts. The studs came out with the nuts. Boy, I just wish I would have done that when I had the heads off and the motor torn all apart. It would have been so much easier on the bench. So, note to somebody else, if you got your heads off, I would suggest trying to remove the studs and put new ones in or something, because man, you get that thing on the car and trying to get them off, it's a mess. It's a nightmare. Okay, I even tried using one of these things somebody gave me a long time ago. I think it's my brother. Gave it to me for Christmas one year or something. They're grip tight things. Supposed to be able to fit old worn off bolts and nuts and stuff, and it actually did grip that torn up end of that stud. Actually gripped it pretty tight like that. But it immediately broke. See how the pins broke off? It just broke right off. I barely put any pressure on it. So it didn't work. Well, I just managed to get a few nuts on the transmission to the motor. As you can see, I think I got it all started finally, but that's the kind of angle I had to go in at be able to get it to meet up, and that's as far down as the motor will go because the pan is sitting on the cross member down there. But I think I've got them going together finally. It about killed me doing that.